Hello. In this presentation, I will introduce and demonstrate changes to the Requisition Task Templates, as well as provide information for testing and requesting this functionality on your BSI database. A Requisition Task Template is a saved sequence of tasks with default properties. Currently, templates can be created and applied from within the Requisition Editor. Create a template by first adding the tasks and then selecting the Create Task Template icon or the Tools menu Create Task Template item. You can apply a task template by selecting the Add Task Template icon or the Tools menu Add Task Template item. New enhancements to Requisition Task Templates include the addition of a separate template module with a manager and editor, permissions for who can add and edit templates via this module, the ability to specify task completion dependencies, the ability to automatically apply tasks to specified specimens, automatic creation of reserved children specimens for Process and Aliquot tasks. Shortly, I will demonstrate the creation and application of a Requisition Task Template. Below is an example process that I have created a template for. Under each step, I have listed the task type and the specimens to which the task will automatically apply, as well as any default task properties. For the demonstration, I will create a Requisition Task Template to pull buccal cell specimens, create 2 DNA specimens per buccal cell specimen, ship the DNA specimen with the sequence 0001 to the lab destination, empty buccal cell specimens with a volume of 0, and return all remaining specimens to storage. First, let's go to the Requisition Task Template Manager. The manager is similar to other BSI managers. There is a table with a list of template records and properties, a filter button, and some action buttons on the right. Other than creating new templates and editing, viewing, or deleting existing templates, you can create a duplicate template or make a template active from the manager. The Template Manager lists templates from your institution by default. Each template gets saved with a unique ID. The template status starts out as draft so that it can be worked on and saved. Once the template is complete, the status can be updated to active. Only active templates from your institution are available for you to use in Requisitions. Let's edit an existing Requisition template that I created previously for our processing example. On the left, the Requisition Task Template Editor lists the task names and task types in parentheses. They are listed in the order they will be listed in the requisition. Tasks can be reordered by selecting a task and moving the up or down arrows. There are 2 tabs to the right that contain specifications for each task. The Task Properties allows the user to enter default task properties such as task name and instructions. These properties can be modified in the requisition. Also on the task properties, you can set task dependencies that specify that other tasks must be completed before the current task. The pull task here has no dependencies since it is the first in the process. In the Applies tab, you can also specify which specimens a task is automatically applied to. On this tab, you can create Applies to criteria using the standard search dialog. For the pull task, I have specified that I want it applied to buccal cell specimens. Let's review the other tasks and finally add a new task for returning specimens to inventory. In addition to task properties, for Aliquot and process task, you can set how many prospective children should be created in the requisition. If you specify a number of children, the task will automatically be begun and the requested child records listed. Also, notice that the Extract DNA task has a task dependency. The pull task must be completed before this task can be completed. I have specified that this task should be applied to the buccal cell specimens. For the ship task, I have set some default ship task properties, including the task destination, and have made the task's completion dependent on the pull and process tasks. Since I only want one DNA specimen shipped, I have specified the task be applied to the DNA specimen with the sequence of 0001. The empty task will be dependent upon the pull and process tasks being completed. I have specified that this task be applied to buccal cell specimen where the volume, which is updated in the process task completion, is 0. To complete this template, I need to add a return to inventory task for the remaining buccal cells and the second DNA specimen. I used the Add Task icon and chose the Return to Inventory task. The new task is added to the end of the task list, but I could move it if I needed to. Next, I will update task dependencies so that the task is dependent on all the other tasks being completed. I want to apply this task to all remaining reserved specimens, so I will enter a criterion of vial status equals reserved. However, since a task is never unapplied using task templates, I will have to unapply the task for empty and out specimens in the requisition. Notice that I can create applies to criteria based on specimen fields, requisition fields, and task statuses. For this process, I simply want to apply the task to specimens that are reserved. I have saved and closed the template, but before it is available to users in requisitions, I must make it active. Pressing the Active button will update the status to active. Now let's see how a requisition with this template behaves. I will now apply my template when creating a new requisition. Templates can also be applied to saved or submitted requisitions by updating the requisition properties. On the Requisition Properties dialog, fill in the properties as usual, and then select the template for the requisition and press the OK button. Next, add specimens. For this example, I will add a couple of buccal cell specimens. Next, I will submit the requisition and open it for processing when I am prompted. Notice that the tasks are applied to the specified specimens and the child DNA vials are already created. For this example, I'm going to quickly complete each task to show the template behavior. I'm going to skip generating reports, adding task data, and scanning to complete tasks. task statuses will change as the specimen data changes. The process task has been completed, and the ship task is automatically applied to the DNA specimen with the sequence 0001, and the empty task is automatically applied to the buccal cell specimens with 0 volume. Now I will complete the ship and empty tasks. Now that the ship and empty tasks are completed, I will unapply the return to inventory for the out and empty specimens. I will then complete the return to inventory to complete this requisition. If you turn on the Enhanced Requisition Task Template functionality for your BSI database, here are some things you should know. Current templates will be saved and are accessible via the new Requisition Task Template Manager. Users will now need permissions to edit these templates and to add and edit new templates. Only one template will now be allowed per requisition. If you have applied multiple templates to requisitions in the past, please consider combining them. Instead of having access to all the requisition task templates on the database, users will now only have access to those created by users at their institution. In order to activate the new requisition task template functionality, email approval from your BSI system owner is needed. Once approved, a BSI support staffer will change a system preference on your database to true. This change is treated as a change to production data and does not require an RFE. Once the preference is set to true, local administrators will need to update roles with the Enhanced Requisition Task Template permissions. Any currently logged on users will need to log off and back on to see the changes. Prior to turning on the Enhanced Requisition Task Template functionality, we encourage you to try it out, either on the BSI demo database or your beta database. If you already have a demo account, log on as usual. To sign up for a demo account, you can go to the URL listed here, press the Download Demo button, fill in your contact information, and press the Get the Demo button. To enable the Requisition Task Template functionality on your beta database, email permission is needed from the system owner. We will then turn on the functionality, and you can test on beta as you would test any new enhancement. If you have any questions about the Enhanced Requisition Task Template functionality or any BSI functionality, please contact BSI support at 301-628-1BSI or bsi@imsweb.com. Thank you.